is to learn this glass menagerie from the point of view of the writer, what the writer meant to say about it. রাইটারটাকে কিভাবে নিচ্ছে এই গ্লাস ম্যানেজারিটাকে। So in that respect, আমি এইমাত্র যেটাকে বললাম সেটা হচ্ছে যে কোয়েশ্চেনটা কি বললাম, হাউ ফার ডু ইউ ফিল গ্লাস, না আমেরিকান নভেল যেটা তো হয়ে গেছে, হয়নি, তাহলে কি এইটা করবো? আচ্ছা, so no problem, answer is not very long, it is a short answer. Just a minute. এটাকে আমেরিকান নভেল আমরা কেন বলেছি? Why it is said to be an American novel? There are reasons behind it to be made into an American novel. Now, I'm doing it fast. That how far do you feel the glass menagerie is a criticism of American novels? How do you feel that the question is an American novel? So to deal with it is a very short answer, হয়তো কম নম্বরের জন্য থাকতে পারে। The glass menagerie, the glass menagerie is a criticism of American novel, but only to a certain extent, as the play explores other themes and issues and also the variance in human nature. A criticism of American morals can indeed be found within the text. However, Williams only hints the faults in the ideology of the American dream. So the backbone of the most American novels, rather than actually being forthright in saying that American morals are flawed, the real criticism of American morals lie within the characters and the situations in the play. For example, one of the aspects of the American dream is freedom for all. Yet, as we can see during the 1930s, in which the play is set, and also through the mood and theme of entrapment in the play. I said entrapment in the play, that this was an idea that didn't apply to this time. কেউ পেছনে কথা বলছে, একটু আস্তে কথা বলতে বলো। একটু আস্তে কথা বলতে বলো, someone is talking behind. So many were trapped by the social and economic situations, which didn't allow them to break free and live the lives they wanted to. So the American people were supposed to be free, but in reality, many were slaves to the wages. So this can be poignantly seen through the character of Tom in the play. He's trapped in a 2x4 situation, means where although he longs to escape the wing-filled apartment, thereby escaping the claustrophobic situation. This is very much claustrophobic situation. But now you might say, what do you mean by this, sir? What is the meaning of it? There is no meaning as such, but I would like to say one thing. This claustrophobic situation that I'm saying is a situation that has a duty to support his mother and sister who are heavily dependent on him, explaining why he's always seen lingering by the apartment fire escape, symbolic of his flight and escape to freedom. Williams describes the Wingfield apartment as being set in a fundamentally enslaved section of American society, highlighting the feeling of incarceration and imprisonment by all Americans within the social context. So the criticism of American morals can be seen through the situations in the play, where we see the real condemnation of American society and its standards. The Wingfield family are left to fend for themselves after the desertion they suffered by their father. Not once in the play does any member of the society come to aid Amanda as she struggles to make ends meet and raise money for her children to live comfortably. In fact, the public shuns family way and would rather not be reminded of them. A social exclusion is apparent in scene 3 when Amanda carries out her magazine subscription work but is rudely hung up on heavens. I think she is hung up. So, in this treatment of the Wingfield family, it is family to see that the dysfunctional family will not fit into the American society and is somewhat forgotten and left to rot. Tom is somewhat loosely based around himself and maybe echoing his opinion sums up American society in the beginning of the play. In scene 1, Tom compares the USA to Spain. In Spain, there was revolution. Here, there was only shouting and confusion. This shows his criticism of the lack of movement within the USA. It suggests that within the USA, people were trying to make sense of what was happening. They were trying to cope and deal with the depression in the 1930s rather than actually doing anything about it. 1930s depression, you have not learned it in your syllabus, but you know that there was a 1930 depression, just the war after. Tom also refers back to this later on in the play when he states in scene 6 that people go to the movies instead of moving. Go to the movie. That means it has become a habit with them to go to the movie. People are trying to find means of escape instead of staying and confronting the problem. Why do we go to movies? Why do we see movies? Why do we see all these sort of things on the screen? Because we want to escape from the situation that we live in. So this is entrenched in the character of Thomas. In the end, he decides to run and escape the situation and tries to pursue his own directions and ambitions. Conforming to the idea of the American dream, but it catches up with him. The guilt over leaving his family behind pursues him and constantly eats away at him. In scene 7, Tom states, I was pursued by something. The point made here within the play was that in the end he decided to follow his aspirations and the American dream, and it was a wrong decision for him as his guilt about it prevented him from living his life properly. In America, even today, this American dream is a great controversy. It is still there. This concept is still there in America. Tom does not have morals, yet these morals constrain him to the point of entrapment. Every day he's surrounded by a society that has no morals and doesn't care about others and the state of the country as they all find means of selfish escape. This is shown in scene 5 when Tom states that across the alley from us was the Paradise Dance Hall, which served as a means of escapism for people. of his age, as it provided compensation for lives that passed like mine. So Tom declares that the dance hall flooded the world with brief deceptive rainbows. You see, everything in America during the time was in the state of deception. Even today, even today, when we talk of America, it is the same thing that happens to us. It's the same thing that happens to us. So, mm, so it happens to us. In America, this is a great problem. This American dream to get something and the dream of something but ultimately not getting it. So Tom declares the dance hall flooded the world with brief deception, deceptive rainbows, describing the temporary illusion that most sought to escape from their pathetic existences. American novel is all about this American dream. You dream of something more than what is beyond your expectation, and then you suffer. The criticism here is that Tom followed the American dream. By doing so, one ends up selfish and almost hedonistic. That is not caring about family or society, only oneself. Today, this concept is everywhere, spreading like wildfire. Thinking of oneself, not of the society, not of the family they live in. So, more underlying criticism in the play is with the character Mr. Wingfield. He pursued his own objectives and desires, part of the American dream, and ignored his responsibilities, resulting in the desertion of the Wingfield family unit. The American society places so much emphasis on the father figure in the family that it made it almost impossible in the play for the Wingfields to function as a normal family. The family seems to have sense of isolation because of the absence of a patriarchal figure, a world of reality that we were somehow set apart from. The Wingfields live in a patriarchal society where the majority of the jobs are given to men. Without a male provider, the woman would feel trapped, and so the role of the patriarch fell to Tom. Tom does not welcome the responsibility of being the patriarchal figure, even though he seems to have been given the financial responsibility of being one. It is a coerced role which has been imposed upon him, and he refuses to accept it thoroughly, thus trying to escape it by running away. There is also the sense that there is no one for Amanda to turn to for help at any time in the play. It is as though society has turned its back on the family because they are now seen as dysfunctional. Her telephone calls and the responses she gets are evidence of the heavens. Of these heavens, I think she's hung up. Amanda would probably be viewed as a mother deserted, and an embarrassing magazine payment job is evidence of her not fitting within American society. Amanda wants the Southern ballet. Ballet means a young girl is willing to debase herself or her standards at least in order for her children to stay financially comfortable. She once lived an upper class sheltered life as a Southern ballet and would not have had to face such hardship if her husband had stayed to support her. So in this way, Amanda puts her upper class mentality and takes on board humiliating magazine subscription work, regularly phoning those women which she would have once socialized with. So, in this sense, the glass menagerie also explores the human nature in the play as well as criticizing American morals. As Amanda wants her children to prosper in life and is willing to work to achieve this. The American dream was the basis of most American novels in the 1930s. The American dream was about self improvement, success, opportunity, and more opportunity and perseverance, of earning money, great money. So the glass menagerie shows how the American dream and most American morals, which are based on it, are mainly about this selfish existence and how self-centered it is. This is what American dream is all over the world today. We only do not find it in America, all over the world. Amanda describes Tom as a selfish dreamer who wouldn't let anything interfere with the selfish pleasure. By following this, most of the Americans ended up being self absorbed, self. Many would agree that the character of Jim embodies the American dream. Like it, he appears to perfect and positive in all his aspects, yet he knowingly deceives Laura and proves that essentially he is flawed, as is American society. Today in America, what do you find that everyone is pursuing this American dream? The same thing you find in our country also. Everyone is trying to fool everyone else. Everyone is trying to make money and become a rich person, telling lies, talking big, talking in very learned manner, as like we find in our this Mahua Moitro, who speaks in a very high flown English language, but that she speaks something wrong. She is not aware of it. People like us, we understand that. You may be attracted to what English she is speaking, but I am not at all because she doesn't know what she's talking. So this is all has come from this dream. This is a sort of an Indian dream, you can say. So Jim is introduced into the play in the scene 6, where he seems to be hope personified. He would be a quick solution to the Wingfield's problems. Amanda would have a son in law and an extra provider for the family. Laura would have a husband and wouldn't sit at home, wasting away as she did most of the time. Not only representing hope and optimism, Jim seems to have most positive attitude of all the characters in the play. Something quite out of place, or something living in the 1930s Depression era. In scene 6, Jim says, I'm disappointed but not discouraged. Jim also fits in with the theme of illusion and reality. He seems to be the hope and light of the Wingfields, yet he is not the charming fiancé Amanda wants him to be, as he is already engaged. He's built up of somewhat resembling a hero, yet the reality is disappointing. She says, I hope when I was going to high school that I would be further along at this time, as every boy and girl dreams when he or she goes to school. This is also sort of an American dream. We have it in our way, Indian dream, they have it in their way. Even Jim himself has realized that he has not succeeded as well as he would have liked to, yet his attitude is unchanged. So outwardly he seems to be the savior to the Wingfields, yet when he leaves he ends up painfully reminding the Wingfields of the dire situation. William deliberately only touches upon what may be boiling away beneath the surface of the characters and American society. So, in order to understand glass menagerie, you must have this idea of the American dream that has spoiled each and every character. and in their own way they have been spoiled, in their own way of thinking or making quick money. William doesn't criticize American morals blatantly, but does it through the subtle use of symbols and situations the characters are in, and then mainly leaves it to the audience to do full criticizing. The use of screen, icons, and legends emphasize the message that Williams is trying to suggest. The emotions of desertion, abandonment, and entrapment that the characters feel within the play. The character of Tom does criticize America for its lack of movement, but the audience have to explore what Williams may be conveying in order to see where the criticism of American morals lies. So you can see very well the criticism of American morals I told you, and nothing more. So this is what is all about the American dream that we talk of today. Everywhere it is there. Somehow or the other it is present there. So